This program is brought to you by the new Nissan Pulsar.
Nothing compares to you.
This is 10 Eyewitness News with Kristen Devitt.
Good evening. The United States missile attack on Baghdad has reportedly claimed the lives of 6 Iraqi civilians. President Clinton says the strike was in retaliation for an attempt to kill his predecessor, George Bush.
A barrage of 23 Tomahawk missiles like these blasted off from 2 American warships and headed for their target in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. As in previous raids, heavy anti-aircraft fire lit up the Baghdad sky as the missiles roared in. The attack was in response to an assassination attempt on former President George Bush during a visit to Kuwait last April, an attempt now confirmed by the FBI and the CIA.
There is compelling evidence that there was, in fact, a plot to assassinate former President Bush.
Bush was visiting Kuwait to be honored for his role in leading the coalition in the Gulf War. 16 suspects, including 2 Iraqi nationals, were arrested when the plot to kill Bush was uncovered. The White House released pictures of a truck it says was used to smuggle a bomb across the Iraqi-Kuwait border, and of the bomb devices they say were peculiar to Iraq, bombs that would have caused devastating damage. Behind the bombers, say US authorities, was the Iraq Intelligence Service, so its headquarters was the target for today's raid. At this stage, US authorities do not expect the Iraqis to retaliate. They say Iraq no longer has a military capable of striking back. Ken Burslem, 10 Eyewitness News.
Federal police have smashed a huge false passport scam, but they're still hunting for those responsible for thousands of fake birth certificates. The counterfeit birth certificates allegedly cost each applicant close to $300. They're behind 63 illegal passport applications. Police and the Immigration Department cross-checked 300,000 passport applications against those who'd outstayed their visa. 12 people have been arrested, but those who've printed and distributed the thousands of false birth certificates are still at large. The Catholic Church in Australia has admitted it's taken out insurance to cover sexual assault claims against members of the clergy.
If 99% of priests and brothers are trying to do their best, it would be unfair to make judgments about them.
Following multi-million-dollar payouts overseas, Pope John Paul called for a Vatican inquiry. The Australian Catholic Church is appealing for any victims to speak up. Confirmation today that multi-million-dollar investments in Australia have been abandoned because of the uncertainty over the High Court's Mabo decision, and the federal government is under fire from big business.
Australia's major industry groups have banded together in a bid to force the federal government to negotiate over its Mabo plan. Business leaders slam the government for failing to include industry in the process.
Some land users have only had one meeting with the Prime Minister on this. Some major business groups have had no consultation at all.
Behind the scenes, the extent of the consultations with state and territory governments, with industry and with Aboriginal people was unprecedented.
But the government concedes the hysteria surrounding Mabo did get out of control.
We did lose the public debate, and yes, prejudice and bigotry ran rampant for a week.
The reality now is that the uncertainty surrounding the security of land title is threatening investment. BHP, Australia's largest company, admits it is holding back on several multi-million-dollar developments.
We're not likely to be able to proceed with certain new projects in some areas.
Stephanie Kennedy, 10 Eyewitness News.
The full interview with Robert Tickner can be seen on